I live downtown near Barnes & Noble, so that's helpful, but I need more. I need more. I'm going to have to spread out to Seattle to find more books. Of course, I love spiritual books. Anything about spirituality is always wonderful and I love biographies. I love seeing where people's journeys take them and how they got there, where they began. And I love the humor section. I'm always looking for something funny. I'm always looking to laugh. That's part of what we're here to do, to be joyful. And I found a book not too long ago called Non-Campus Mentis, World History According to College Students. A college professor from West Virginia collected a number of different papers that his colleagues shared with him that their students had turned in with some rather unexpected results or responses to what they knew or what they didn't know. I want to share a few of the more unusual ones with you. Now remember, these are from actual university students who got into college. One young man wrote, "The history of the Jewish people begins with Abraham, Isaac, and their 12 children. They had one big god named Yahoo. Old Testament prophets include Moses, Amy, and Confucius." A sophomore said, "The book of Exodus describes how the Jewish people later arrived in Canada, the promised land of milk and chocolate." In her world religion paper, a freshman shared that the mother of Jesus was Mary, who was different from other women because of her immaculate contraption. Sounds painful, doesn't it? Mary and Joseph went from inn to inn trying to find a place for Jesus to be born, but they were refused because they were Jewish. And should you think it was only Bible history they didn't get, one guy said Hitler, who had become depressed for some reason, had his wife Evita put to sleep and then shot himself in the bunker. Someone said, "One major source of conflict has been Israel's relations with the Parisians." The Carter administration found itself face to face with this problem during the Iran hostess crisis. Let us pray. Now, the professor did mention things like the challenges some of the students had were incomplete note-taking, paying half attention to the professor last-minute cramming, and way too much reliance on autocorrect or spell check. Now, as funny as these things are, we can see how one word could change history. Imagine if there was an Iranian hostess crisis, we would have a completely different world than we have now. So one word in our vocabulary, one word that we share can change our whole life. If you've been coming to this center or any New Thought Center for any length of time, you know that our words are powerful. That the words we speak really are prayers, positively or negatively. Whatever we're saying, we're putting out to the universe. In Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes wrote, "When our word is spoken in the consciousness of life, power, and action, then our word is life, consciousness, power, and action." The word gives form to the unformed. The greater the consciousness behind the word, the more power it will have. So we see that words are the vehicles for the God ideas that we have within us. How are we treating these divine ideas with our words? Or they can be powerfully put forth if we are in passionate agreement with this wonderful idea we've received. For example, if I get an idea for a new career, I want to make a change in my life, I want more abundance, and Spirit keeps giving you this idea over and over and over again. Say, a bed and breakfast for dogs. Wendy loves that idea. We call it the doghouse. And so we as good truth students would speak it forth as, I am grateful for the unfolding good that the doghouse is. I know it's coming forth. God is bringing it into my life. It'll be a blessing for me and for everyone I serve, my clients and their little animals. I have absolute faith that the universe is instructing me today as to what to do today. I know everything I need to know now, tomorrow, and the next week. It's a blessing to me. Forever and ever, as I let go and let God do this work through me, a powerful child of God that I am now commanded to come forth, and so it is. Would you have any doubt that it would come forth? One person said, no. Let me think about it for a moment. Are you really thinking about whether or not this powerful commandment would not come forth? Yeah, when you speak the truth with power and conviction, it has no option but to come forth into your life. The universe says that universal law is that which we declare, demand, command, and state with absolute conviction has to show up for us eventually. 17 years ago, I got an idea for Unity of New York. Everybody said it can't happen. Spirit within me said, this is how it's happening. We opened it in 2 weeks. And everybody said, that will never happen. They never allowed that to happen here. We opened Easter Sunday, 1999, with 500 people. They said, that cannot happen. I said, it happened. And it continues today to thrive and grow 17 years later. So that was a divine idea that we said, there is no way this cannot happen. This is happening because it is divinely ordained for us right now. This is stated in the book of Job as, you shall decree a thing, and it will be established for you. You will say what your desire, your need is, and it will happen. The master teacher said it a little plainer. He said, up until now, you haven't asked. That's why you didn't get. So now ask, believe it, and it'll be there. It will show up. Now, I know through the 25 years I've been doing this, I have shared this kind of message, and people come to me in line or in counseling and they say, yeah, I know, but I've asked a lot. A lot. A lot. Every Sunday I come here, every class, and I keep affirming the same thing over and over and over again. We all know the frustration of asking and not receiving, of decreeing and not seeing, demanding and being turned down, of affirming and not getting what we desire. It's really irritating. And I keep showing up here and getting up early on Sunday morning to do it, and it's not working. What is happening? Why am I not getting the good that everybody else here seems to be getting? And it doesn't matter what the challenge is in finding a wonderful maid or getting a great home in Bellevue for a reasonable price. Finding peace of mind in a really dysfunctional setting at home, getting a career going that I would really love to do, finally getting rid of the chronic pain, whether it be emotional or physical. How do we do this? Is there a way of bringing whatever we desire into our lives? Well, you know what? I guarantee this will work. Really and truly, this is going to work. If you apply it, if you really listen to this and move forward with it. I don't see anybody with paper and pen or pencil or anything right now waiting to take these notes. I see one. Thank you very much. Okay, good. I'll wait. What you're going to hear is what you pay thousands of dollars to hear Anthony Robbins share. You get it for a love offering and brunch. Okay, so here, listen. The secret to receiving all that God has is to get off your big butt. I'm not talking about your rear end. I'm talking about B-U-T, not B-U-T-T. Get off your butt. If we don't fulfill the law by speaking exactly what we want, it will not work. If we don't fulfill the law of speaking the divine idea for success, for health, for family harmony, it isn't going to come forth. Here's what we've been doing. My doggy B&B, the doghouse is coming, but I don't have enough money. I don't know where the money's going to come from. I don't have any money. Nobody's going to give me money. Or my healing is happening, but This article says that it's only 10% rate of healing. So I'm not going to get my hopes up. You can pray for me. Go ahead. No, I'm not going to stop you. You can go. It's not going to work, but go ahead. Gee, that's really powerful, isn't it? Or I wish my family could be closer. I really do, but my husband's an idiot. My son's a loser. And my daughter's a cow. Oh, believe me, I've heard worse. I've heard worse. And then they follow up, so how can I get my family to love each other? Well, perhaps we could stop calling our daughter a cow. That would be a good start. What's being said may seem to be factual, but it is not spiritual truth. It is not the truth of any child of God. Whenever we finish a divine statement of truth with a but, or however, or although, or if, we're powerfully neutralizing the divine impulse, the affirmation of good we just affirmed. We don't realize we're doing this. We're that powerful. We don't realize just how powerful we are, how powerful the words that we send forth with emotion and passion. That we alter the sacred affirmation with a coda or an addendum or a footnote, contrary to the truth, well, the universe is not going to get in the way of our negating it. It just isn't. Well, I got this waiting for you, but since you have that big butt in the way, we'll just wait and see what you really want, what you really believe. I desire the right and perfect partner. Somebody once said that to me. I desire the right and perfect partner, but I'm so ugly, who would want me? Or very much like it in New York City, I've had a nickel for every time some single woman would come up to me and say, I want to find a husband, but all of them in New York are married or gay. That's a really powerful affirmation. For those of you who are single, would you like to know that together? All the men I meet are married or gay together. No? I had a friend once who said, I just want a husband, I just want a husband, I just want a husband. She kept getting husbands that they weren't hers. And I said, you've got to stop that affirmation. I said, you want the right and perfect man who will become your husband. The universe really does hear us. She went, oh my gosh. She finally heard what she was saying. Or I just want a simple little house in Kirkwood near the water. But I can't afford it. I wish my life could be peaceful. But ISIS and Hillary and Donald and the new iPhone are just making it impossible. You see what we do? We sabotage our good. We don't mean to keep our dreams and desires away with the but this huge wall of separation gets put up with the but, with the however, or I don't think so. The answer to this challenge of cutting off our success, our healing, our peace and joy is to stop talking before you fall on your butt. Just stop. I'm a successful child of God, and I cannot fail at doing what I love, period. Don't talk anymore. Just shut up. Don't add anything to that. That's powerful enough. I'm healed in mind and body completely. The healing energy of God within me is cleansing, renewing, restoring every inch, every cell of my being. Basta. That's Italian for enough. I didn't swear or anything. The end. That's it. That's all you need to say. My family is loving and gentle. My husband is intelligent. My son's a winner. My daughter and I have perfect communication. Full stop. Don't call anybody and add to that. Now, I've heard people say, well, that's wishful thinking. I would like my husband to be wise. I'd like my kids to be loving and successful and all that, but it just isn't true. You haven't met them. Take my word for it. There's that but again. We don't affirm something to make it true. We affirm and know the truth because that is true. It's God at the core of our being revealing that over and over again. Now, our subconscious mind will take this affirmation when we stop it before the but and say, oh, we're real excited about this. It must be happening. And then we allow it to move forward. The subconscious just gets the energy. That's all. It gets the energy. It's, oh, wow, this is cool. This is wonderful. It's happening. And we begin to see this unfolding in our lives more and more. If you want your family to be loving, see them as loving. Keep working with it until they actually do become that. Treat them that way with loving, positive words, and eventually it'll unfold. There's a wonderful old New Thought adage, don't set it right, see it right. See it the way you want it to be, and eventually it will become that because you become that. You become more loving with your family, and they will respond in kind. If you want to be healed, see that as the only option. Speak only words of health and strength in this body temple, no matter how it may be currently looking to you. Our co-founder of Unity, Myrtle Fillmore, refused to see tuberculosis as a permanent condition. They told her, you got 6 months, go take care of everything. She said, no, there's got to be another way. There's got to be another answer. So she went to a lecture one night. She heard the truth, and she began praising her body. She began asking the body to forgive me for calling you weak. Forgive me for calling you diseased. And the body began to respond. Within 2 years, she was completely healed. The birth of Unity came from the affirmation she heard that night. She heard the lecturer say, you're a child of God and you do not inherit sickness. It is not the truth of who you are. She said, it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I knew that. It took 2 years for it to fully take hold, but every little bit of success I gave thanks for. The writer La Fontaine once said, you are so made that whenever anything fires your soul, impossibilities vanish. If you're fired up, there is nothing impossible for you, no matter what anybody says. Oh, you'll never be able to put a center together in New York. What are you, crazy? It's never happened before and it will never happen. And it did. So whatever you want, your fire will fuel you forward, unless you add a but to it. Or that however, or that except for, or that if only. Nothing puts out fire of passionate joy and excitement for your good more thoroughly than taking the ideas of God and negating them through doubt and through fear, through unimaginative thinking and wishy-washy follow-through. 99.9% of our failures comes because we gave up. We didn't follow through with what God has for us. The book of Revelation declares, I know your works, you're neither cold nor hot. Were that you were cold or hot, because you are lukewarm right now, and neither cold nor hot, I will spew you from my mouth. Ew. Ooh. That's pretty disgusting sounding. But what the writer means is that God can't do anything through us if we're neither cold nor hot, if we're lukewarm, if we're wishy-washy. The universe has nothing to work with. We've got to give God something to work with, and that's our energy, our passion, our joy. If we don't have that, we don't have anything to move forward with. How committed, how passionate are you for the idea of your healing finally happening? For your success that you thought could never happen? For your relationship that you thought, I'm going to die an old person because nobody will love me? Your joy. You deserve a joyful life. So will you say yes to it? We have to joyfully work with this wonderful energy of God to have the good that we're looking to manifest. You know, people often say to me, you get so excited up there. It's like, I do. This is exciting stuff. I wouldn't do this for a profession if I didn't believe this, if I hadn't worked with these principles myself. And seen hundreds and hundreds of people turn their lives around from almost committing suicide to being the happiest people that I've ever seen in my life. When you let God do it through you, let it go. Let go of the ideas that you can't have it, because you can. It's waiting for you to say yes to it. The painter Georgia O'Keeffe spent 6 months of the year in the desert by herself. She said, so I can see the colors better. That's commitment to her art. And it was a joy. Catherine Ponder, the Master of Prosperity teacher, published her memoirs a number of years ago, about 5 or 6 years ago, I think, called A Prosperity Love Story. In it, she tells the story of a Christmas when her son was 8 years old. He tells Catherine that Christmas he wanted a motorized go-kart. Well, she hadn't been in her ministry, in her Unity ministry, for very long, and there wasn't a lot of cash available. She didn't say that she was poor or broke. She said, it just is not flowing at this very moment for that kind of thing. But being a prosperity teacher, she couldn't say, I can't afford it to her son, because he listened to all of her classes. So she didn't say anything, which was only marginally better. But he, listening to his mom teach class after class after class, began to apply the principles himself at 8 years old. So he began to passionately affirm a go-kart, which made her nervous. Catherine kept wondering how it was all going to turn out because Christmas was a few days away. And there wasn't any more cash seemingly available at that moment, even though her son was furiously, joyfully affirming his go-kart. The next day, a congregant gave her a Christmas tithe of $80. But it was still $80 short of the go-kart. Well, he gave her more than $80, but it was still $80 that she didn't have. Her son, let's go down to the store and look at the go-kart. She said, oh, all right, let's go down there. Maybe something will come to me. As they were standing in the store looking at the cart, and her son annoyingly affirming once again that the cart was his, a man standing next to her looked around for a moment and whispered, I know where you can get it $80 cheaper. He said, I bought one for my son, but he changed his mind. Now he wants the bike. He said, here's the name of the guy who's holding it. She and her son went over, and he got his go-kart. He knew it was coming. He knew this was his. No doubt whatsoever, what he was passionately affirming, what he learned from his mom was happening. No buts about it. So what is God calling for you to do about your go-kart? We all have a go-kart. What are you being called over and over again, that little voice that just won't shut up? Shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up. I can't find a mate here. La, 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 la. I can't have that. I can't have that. I can't. We can't ourselves into a tizzy. But Spirit keeps revealing it. If Spirit's revealing it, then you can. And you will when you let it go. But let go of the negative words. It's the negative words, the negative attitude that is keeping all the good from flowing. Know that your healing is happening, your success is happening, your right mate is appearing when you say, welcome home, whoever you are. Your financial affairs are becoming orderly as you affirm, God's at work here and revealing what I need to know. Your life is happy, peaceful, and joyful as you look beyond what appears to be failure. There's no true permanent failure in God. It's just an opportunity to go in a different direction. Just breathe in and say, thank you, God, for this wonderful new direction. When your old ideas keep popping up, you can't, you won't, you shouldn't, hear all the reasons, just thank you for sharing. You're not the truth of God. This is not a God idea to say no. Say, I am open and receptive and so joyful. I can't wait to see how God's going to work this one out. So God, guide me. I know what's happening. So get off your butts and know the truth that God is here right now. Take a breath. Breathe out. Breathe in again. Are you excited? Yes. Feel that. Feel that. Yeah. I want you to affirm with me together. My word is powerful.
My word is powerful.
It goes out to work for me.
It goes out to work for me.
I am created to succeed.
I am created to succeed.
I am created to be healthy.
I am created to be healthy.
I am created to have fun.
I am created to have fun.
I am created to have fun. That was very Stepford sounding. I am created to have fun together. I am created to have fun. That felt better. I am created to be helpful.
I am created to be helpful.
I am created to be joyful.
I am created to be joyful.
Breathe in. I bet you haven't said those words in a long time. But that's the truth of who you are. You were created to live this life fully, abundantly, joyfully. Breathe in, close your eyes. Let that truth take hold. Your body should be buzzing now. Feel the truth moving through your mind, your heart, your breath. Feel it buzzing from those around you. We are here together to remember the truth for ourselves and each other. You shall decree a thing, and it'll be yours. No fine print. No disclaimers. No but. Just the truth. Ask. Believe it. And it's yours. Let the chair support your weight. Let go of the baggage you're holding. It's not working. Leave it outside. You want to pick it up on your way out, you can. You don't have to. We'll put it in the trash for you. But life is supposed to be better than what we've been expecting and accepting. Today we know life is good. Life is creative. Life is joyful. Life is an adventure in becoming the powerful me that I am right now. In the silence of our being, just for a few moments, we let the words of truth become our words of truth. I can stand up here and tell you this for hours, but until we hear it from God within, we don't own it. So right now, I want you to take these as your commands, as your truth. I demand health and wholeness flow through me now. No ifs, ands, or buts. I demand health and wholeness flow through me now. I am so grateful for this happening. It is happening now. Breathe it in. I am healed. Period. It may take a while to see it, or it could show up now. Divine timing is at work. And I'm grateful. I command abundance flow into my life. I am successful. I know what to do and how to do it. Let that flow forth. I command abundance flows forth now. I am successful. I know what to do, and I do it. Listen. There's nothing to be afraid of. Nothing to fear at all. Creative Spirit is at work revealing this to my mind, to my body, my life. Course of Miracles said, if we only knew God is here, how there would be no fear at all. I command love, harmony, peace, and joy to bless me and others now. I command love, harmony, peace, joy is the reality of my life. No questions, no alternatives, no doubt. It's right here. In the silence of our being, it only takes a brief moment to know this. In this silence, we allow Spirit to reveal, I'm here. I'm at work. I am you. Let go and let it flow. Take a gentle breath. Let go. In that brief moment, you know that you know. It's all here, waiting for us to say yes. I demand, decree, affirm, and know that I am fully blessed today, tomorrow, and for the rest of my life. And so it is.